There you go, guys. So this is pretty cool. I've just, like a few minutes ago, got my my anti-ox delivered. So, and this is the place that I got it from. It's not the direct place the supplier, well, that these guys get it from, but this is where I got it from in Australia anyway. So if anybody wants to get some after watching this. So what I'll do is I'll quickly open this. I'll just pause this because it's bloody easy to do it with two hands than one. And I haven't got a tripod from my phone or my camera. So I'll quickly open this and we'll get it out of the box. Cheers. Right, so I got it out of the box. It was reasonably well packaged. Had that couple bits of brown paper around it plus this in the middle. So I'll know how to get out of here now. But you can roughly see that through there. I'll do a quick another pause and get this out of the bubble wrap, and we'll be back. Right, so back again. So what I'll do is I'll just do a couple quick shots of this so you can sort of see, give you all the information that's on the bottle. If you can pause and read that, or want to screenshot it or anything, give you the other end. So I'm basically going to do the whole car on this, anywhere where it's rusty. I've gone through and wild wheeled it all, bits and pieces. I'm not sure if you can see in here. I'm just in the process of cleaning this back, but in here, this was a bubbly spot, and the bodywork that was on this car, it was all bubbled up around here. So obviously, there's also an active rust in here that's hard to get out. And I've got all these bits and pieces here to do. This is a piece I panel beaded the other day. So there's still a lot of surface on here that we need to clean up. And all this, like, this is really bad. So this is going to be a real test for this. Both these inner guards and lots of little spots in and around the door, door openings and heaps of places like that which really need cleaned up really well. So, like, obviously the wire brush on the sander gets rid of the worst of it. And I could probably DA sand a lot of this, but there's a lot of awkward little spots and corners and stuff like this in the road that makes it bloody awkward to get in there. And I will probably strip this apart and do the in between pieces as well. But for the matter of testing this, I'll pour a bit in the plastic bottle there that I cut in half, and we'll have a play on this in a fender, well, in a guard, and see how well she works. It'll be a real good test because I've never used this before. As I've said on a couple of videos before, I watched come across this on a video from was it Tim Johnson up in the mainland. He uses on all his stuff when he's building cars and for people. So yeah, this will be a real test to see how it works and see what it does and how well it cleans it all up and what it does. So basically, yeah, and the best thing is, like, you don't have to piss around with like hot soapy water after you put it on. Like, after a while you can just let it dry off and it comes up with like just a powdery oxidation, and then you can just sand it up and clean it up later on when you're ready. So if you want to leave it for a few weeks or whatever, like if you're going through doing the car, you can leave it for a few weeks before you clean it up. Sorry about that, young fellow was asking me some questions. So yeah, this will be a real test for it to see how it works, because also it was way rusty in any of the stuff that he was cleaning up, that little piece of steel on his video that he cleaned up, just as an example. But this will be a real test to see how it works. So what I'll do is I'll pause this, I'll pour a bit in the this thing. He suggested don't put much in there at a time and then brush it on. It obviously goes a long way. So yeah, hopefully I've got plenty in that to do the car. I'm hoping I don't have to buy any more, which would be a real pain. But hopefully there's plenty enough in there to do what I need to do. I can treat all the inside of this boot lid and the bonnet and any spots that I need to do. So I'll do that now. We'll get it on and some in there and I'll brush it on and see what happens. Cheers. Alright, let's see how we go here. See if I can get this in here without spilling it. Definitely smells quite acidy, but there's something else in it, but I just can't. I need to read the sheet that comes with it. Let's see if I have a look. Just basically all he did, he just brushed it on like that. He said you can spray it on too. Look, we'll see. I'll just watch it for a few minutes, or for a minute or so, and then I'll flick back, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and just see what happens here. This will be really interesting. Obviously, it spreads a fair way. It'll be really interesting to see what this does, how well it works. Brush there. Sorry if the footage is not very good. Just trying to get this on. I'm trying to show you while I'm doing it. I think I've got myself covered here now. Just brush out the last little bits. Just get underneath there. Probably really should have gloves on doing this, but it's a bit awkward trying to hold cameras and paint this stuff with gloves on. And I would normally do it with gloves on, just for the sake of doing this video and doing this a little bit. Right, so you can see that's reacting really quick on there already, like it's going quite black. Be interesting just to see how this all works. Right, I've got that on there now. I'll quickly pause this. I'll go clean give this brush a bit of a wash up, since it is acid based. Give it a wee rinse out, and I'll come back in a couple of minutes. Cheers. I'm back again. This is literally only like probably about a minute, less than, well, probably about a minute, since I just went out there and gave that brush a bit of a wash out. So yeah, it'd be interesting just to have a watch, see what happens. I guess I'll just leave it to totally dry. But I'll give you a shot in a few minutes and just see what happens with some of this lighter stuff, see what it does. Might even get a one of those like green Scotch Brite brads or something like that. But I've got a couple of scruffy ones over here. Might even give it a wee scrub like that shortly. And just see what happens with some of the stuff. See if it actually removes it. But yeah, it's almost looks like it's starting to dry in here already. But yeah, hopefully this stuff works like Tim said it does. I'll be really impressed if it does, because anything else I've seen that's been sort of a bit like this, you've got to wash it off. With like hot soapy water, which yeah works, but you've got to get something on it straight away. With this, if you're trying to clean up, quite a few panels, you can just leave it, overnight, and then come back the next morning and give it a scuff off, and and then blow some etch over it. That's easy done. Hey, buddy.
What are you doing then?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, working on the car like normal, mate.
I need to go, so I have to stop my motorbike up.
Kids, aren't they good fun? Alright, I'll come back in a few minutes. Cheers. How you going, guys? So back again. So I've actually brushed it around here too. Went around all the channels. This is what I really wanted it for. for in all these spots where it's, you know, there's rust and stuff and moisture been in here, and like all these bits where all the striker plates have been and stuff, like them behind hinges where there's, you know, a bit of rust and stuff that's not so easy to get in and out, get off. So I've done this whole door opening, and I've done part of this other one. I just need to put a bit more on my little bottle. So I've done it all around here, all this bit. Looks quite rusty. Same again and around there, but I was just sort of run out before I sort of started doing this bit. So yeah, we'll go a quick look where we're looking here. So this has probably been sort of 10-15 minutes, I suppose. Oh, no, pretty 15 or a bit longer. So, look, it's really starting to blacken up. Anything that's real heavy rust. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Like, after I leave it for quite a while, just see what actually happens. I'm hoping this stuff will get a bit more heat in the day. Hopefully this stuff will dry up in an hour or so. Because I don't want to just leave it here friggin' half the day and it's still moist like this. Hopefully it'll dry up reasonably quickly, so I can move it mainly, or I might have to just pick it up with some gloves on and, you know, from the corners here and set it somewhere else so I can do something else and do the insides of stuff. And but yeah, I don't want it to dry too fast and not work properly. I'd rather it. But yeah, I'm hoping it just doesn't stay wet for, you know, hours and hours and hours and hours. But yeah, no, it looks good. I'll just grab this since it's been doing it for a wee bit. Just some of this lighter area stuff. I'll just scrub and just. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it comes up like. So this is rust been on here for a long time, whereas the clean steel that he used, you know, it sort of just only had surface rust on it from just sitting around like in a shop, so like it wasn't really sort of eaten in like some of this stuff was. But at least now I know that this stuff, once I scuff it up and clean it up, ready for etch and primer and whatever else, this shouldn't come back for a long time. It should be all neutralised and clean, and so yeah, it's good. Hopefully this stuff works really well. So yeah, I've used everything that was in there, the little bit that I had in there. So I did this and all around that door jam and that, and I actually painted a couple of this a bit more because there's a couple of spots that were looking dryish like this before. So obviously where the heavier rust is, it dries quicker, and where it's not so rusty, it takes a lot longer to dry out, obviously, because it's not using anything. But yeah, this is awesome. I wasn't sure whether this would come back to clean shiny steel or not, but obviously it just goes black, so it's nice that you say, you know, it's neutralised. So yeah, cool. Oh, I might join us back together, doing these videos together. There's a couple of bits and pieces, and pop this up, and then at the end of the weekend or something like that, once I've sort of done a bit more of the car and, you know, sort of all this is sort of dried, I'll do another video and do it up as a part 2. So righty guys, awesome. Yeah, I'll just give you another quick shot of this bottle. So it's from OXYTECH Anti-Ox. This was a litre. This cost me, it's about $45 Australian. I think it's not terribly dear for a bottle if you're at the place. Like, I think it's about 25 or 30 bucks or something like that. So there's a few dollars in freight, but you know, I do live on a little island that's 500 kilometres away from anywhere else, so like I'm happy to pay a few bucks to get a decent product, and hopefully I've got enough in this bottle to do everything I want to do. Because the majority of this I won't do, but just where some of the bad spots are on these doors I will. I may just give it a quick brush over in any ones that look really sort of surfacey, you know, like the boot lid and stuff like that. Because you know, there's all these bits and pieces where it's been repaired and welded and I'll give all that a good coat, or a coat. But anywhere like so where it's not so bad, I'll just give it a real light bits and pieces, and hopefully it'll be plenty. So hopefully there's enough in that. So either possibly I could spray it too. I might put a little bit of my spray gun maybe and spray it, but I'll need to read up how to clean it up, just see what I need to use to clean it up, because I don't want to spray it through and then I can't clean it up. Because I also want to paint these hinges too. This rusty areas of these hinges, just so the contact points, these ones aren't so bad because I've already cleaned these up, but some of them are quite rusty at the contact points. So when I get all them sort of neutralised up, so when I paint them, that's not breaking back through and doing stupid stuff. Alrighty guys, cheers.